Hi, dear language learners. Today I will, in the next 10 minutes, bring you the absolute gems of social psychology that you need to know to become finally that fluent speaker, to finally speak with unshakable confidence. So many people get this wrong. Actually, confidence is not the input, it's the output of your language learning. You become a confident speaker in your next language. I'm going to drill down three factors that actually they will change your way how you view language learning. It's actually all mindset factors. It's actually knowing how we are wired as human beings, knowing how our social psychological way of engaging with other people functions, and what actually then drives becoming confident in a language. I mean, there is one thing that most people know, which is that habits and consistent behavior drives success. I'm going to actually drill down on what lies behind that and what you need as the ingredients for your brain to speed up that process of becoming a fluent, confident speaker. So if you're ready, bear with me for 10 minutes and this will change your view on language learning. Hi, I'm Dr. Alex. I'm a social psychologist and I bring to you the secret language learning hacks. Actually, as a matter of fact, they're also hacks for learning anything, for becoming successful in anything, in terms of the basic fundamental laws of social psychology. So bear with me, this really helps and it reframes your view on how learning and success actually works. Now, if you haven't yet, for those of you who are new here, please also check out, I have on my website, I have free templates for your study cards that you might want to use practicing your next language. And also I have a perfect study routine planner that you can download. Check this out. It really helps because it creates for you that perfect routine, those habits that you can install in your everyday life that fit your everyday life and that make it joyful and that create a language learning experience that is actually sustainable in the long term. And now this is actually exactly the important factor that we are going to talk about now and that I talked in the introduction about, which is habits. Habits only work if you have these three success gems in place, let's say, in your mind. It's the way in which you think about language learning. So, number one is this future memories. It is your imagination. If you don't have a picture in your mind, a mental kind of image of how you imagine the future of you being a fluent speaker in the next language, learning becomes so much harder. So future memories, what I mean by this is you need to imagine yourself, you need to dream about yourself with this new language, the identity that you will become as a fluent speaker. And this actually, it creates a mental picture that anchors what you will do, the habits that you install in your everyday life. And that actually your brain then uses as, first of all, it boosts motivation, it boosts memory, and it lets your brain focus on that as a priority because what we imagine and what we think about in the future, this guides our behavior, and what we then do on a regular basis becomes our reality. And that is so powerful. If you think about it, this is how realizing your dream works. So you need to start absolutely with that imagination. Practice that on a daily basis. Before I start practicing my vocabulary or my sentence per day. By the way, those of you who are studying Italian as well, check out my Italian flashcards on this channel. I invite you, by the way, also to join my challenge to become fluent in Italian, my fifth language. If you are learning Italian, join me because I put myself this challenge because I have that dream to speak as a fifth language Italian. And so basically, going back to that principle, this mental picture I always create that daily, actually. I imagine myself how fun it would be on my next trip to Italy to actually engage with people speaking fluently in Italian, and how I will enjoy that feeling of being fluent in yet another language. And that leads me to the success gem number two, which is enjoyment, fun, and feeling good about it. Research has shown, by the way, as always, you will find the scientific research quotes or the sources for what I say in the description of this video. So this is actually, all I say is actually fundamentally linked to research that has shown how our brain functions in memorizing stuff or in learning stuff for social interaction. Social psychology is all about social interaction. How does our brain work to be able to, well, to let us survive? That's a very negative term. To let us function properly in social interaction situations, and language is a tool for that. So, the emotion, if you feel positive about speaking in a language that you're learning, this will give your brain a boost to want to learn it, to want to memorize it. So it actually accelerates it. So the advice is when you create your study routine, please only choose activities that bring you joy. I give you an example. When I was still intermediate in Spanish, I used music because I love music. I love bachata, I love reggaeton, and I listened to those songs and I tried to decipher what they were singing. I mean, now I understand it. At the time, I didn't, but that was my fun movement kind of motivator in terms of understanding this my fourth language, Spanish, which was great. I mean, it is still a great experience because I love that language. So only pick stuff that brings you joy. Also, when you think about choosing your learning community, if you choose a language course, please only choose a group of other students that you click with. Choose a language professor that you really think he or she has the same philosophy like you. If you don't experience joy when learning, you will learn as well, but it will be so slow. So believe me, you need to put that ingredient, emotion. That is your brain fuel. So it needs to feel good. Also, give yourself that self-compassion of doing regular pauses whenever you study and you feel, oh, today I just can't do it. Be compassionate. Tomorrow you feel good about, realizing your dream again. I'm sorry, I can't speak. I shouldn't say I can't speak. I wanted to say, yes, I can speak, but I just wanted to apologize to you that I can't bring out that sentence, if you know what I mean. Okay, so that was number two, emotions. Now, number three is intention. Intention is actually also closely linked to identity. All the factors I'm bringing you today are linked to identity. Intention, what it does to your identity, it's actually linking your future self to becoming that person. It's not anymore, oh, I'm studying just that language. You start to view language just as a tool to becoming a new form of yourself. If you have watched my video on identity, with any new language you study, you become a new version of yourself. I mean, any polyglot would agree that with changing languages, it makes you feel different. You become a new character because language is a tool and it's also a way of thinking about things. It's a pattern of thinking. It's a logic. And so with switching into a new logic, you kind of start to feel a bit different. You have different humor. You have different way of being. You have different preferences. You have new thinking structures. So intention actually is to program yourself on what you want to become. So, for example, I just did it before when I had that stutter. I said, I can speak instead of I can't speak. You know, what you self program yourself with your daily communication is your intention. So, for example, in Italian, I will say, I am becoming a fluent Italian speaker. I'm not saying I am still studying the language. That is not what I'm doing. I'm focusing on fluency. I'm focusing on social interaction, and this makes a huge difference to studying a language. Studying a language as well is okay, but in my priority, it comes last because knowing the grammar, yes, it is important, but it comes last. It's kind of an explanation of how to talk, and it's not the priority. I'm not aiming to become perfect in the grammar. That will be another output, like confidence will be our output. I will become a confident speaker as I also, with every daily step, will become more correct in the grammar. But it's a long process, and I will, in the meantime, already be fluent, but in a very imperfect way. So the commitment of yourself to have this intention that you're in a process of becoming that fluent speaker, that is the important thing. And that means also you commit to many days of imperfection. You just start speaking, you commit to having fun, you just start to enjoying those, dreaming about your future self. And that actually completely refocuses and reframes your mind, what you're actually doing. You will become so motivated and you will become so fearless. I actually experience that now in a complete different way. Language learning has become between my first foreign language, which was English, then French, and then Spanish, and now Italian. Every step has become less of that. Oh my God, what if I can't say it perfectly? That was at the beginning. I was still in that old school, outdated mindset of that language learning is about perfection. It is not. It is actually about, if you rethink, if you reframe language learning in those ways that I've just explained, it is about committing to daily speaking and being imperfect, accepting from fluent speakers to be corrected and having fun in the process and enjoying that kind of process of watching yourself becoming that fluent speaker. So the whole thing about dreaming, about imagining that future self, about feeling good about it and having that intention to communicate in the new language, that will, as an output, generate that confidence. So my point is, please don't see confident as an input. If you see confidence as an input, I have regularly students coming up to me and saying, I just don't feel confident enough to say this. That's exactly what you need to shift around. You don't need confidence as an input. You will become confident all along the process. You can be the most introverted, inexperienced speaker. You just need to start speaking with that kind of scared feeling and probably saying it wrong. It will probably sound awful, but who cares? You will become confident. So shift that around. Try this and drop me a comment. What are the daily behaviors? What are the future memories you create? What are those feel-good activities you have? And what are those intentions that you have for your next language? And as always, thanks for watching and follow me for more videos on the social psychology of language learning. Thank you and have a good day.